Hello and welcome back. This is going to be for the sign of Taurus, and I hope you guys are doing well. It's interesting because like when I was getting going, I kept hearing like you really want to not work so hard, and you want to make sure that you're not so like overwhelmed. You're a hard worker, but you want to have that work-life balance, right? And I don't know what's going on in the 10th house, but you may want to look into that. I am not an astrologer, but sometimes it just like comes like huge. So there may be something happening in whatever's going on there, right? I'm a big component of understanding the insides of your chart and figuring out like what's been going on and like where you're at currently. I love this card. That's like one of my favorite cards because it reminds me of Dr. Joe. Yeah, just the two more, please. Ooh, that's awesome. Two more. I knew it was going to be a three. Ooh. All right, so your wings may be itching. Somebody, like, death and rebirth is, like, going on in the collective like nobody's business. Like, it's just fire, like, how many people are transforming the way that they are operating in the world currently, and the way the world is responding to them. And so ride that wave, right? Yeah, overall theme, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. So you may be traveling this month, or you may be looking into traveling, right? You could very well be going to an event. Who knows? Maybe you're going to Dr. Joe. The nothingness, right? Through meditation, releasing the ego, releasing what the environment is telling you, who you are, right? And getting into a state of being where you are nothingness, where you are the vibration of like just in flow. And with that, friendliness is going to literally open you up to like whatever success it is that you're trying to accomplish. And it's going to feel like you're wrangling ghosts, that you're riding the air. It's really funny because they're like showing me this as being like a horse. But it's not a horse, it's a cloud, right? And through the week or through the month, you are going to have these spouts, these bursts of energy where all of a sudden like you're on fire and you feel like everything is flowing and like you're on point, and then all of a sudden you're going to be in a state of exhaustion, right? And it's going to test your physicality, right? The way that you move in this body. And so allow yourself that time to meditate, to contemplate, to come into center, to connect not only to your ancestors, but to your guides, to those people that have helped you get to where you are currently sitting, and allow that next version of who you are to become, that phoenix rising, and allow yourself that space to co-collaborate with the universe. Because it is truly about transformation. And it's going to be transformation in divine union, right? So, and 44, you may be seeing a lot of 4 4s, 6s. and 6 is 8. It's funny, every Taurus that I know, it's really quite hilarious. They're all fascinated with the 8, with the infinity of the 8, right? The loop of the infinity. And they just said have you take a look at the pattern in the card, right? And so like pause it, take a snap of it, and allow yourself to meditate with those, because there are different activations that come with these particular cards, right? And so allow yourself that space to they said specifically the union one. So I don't know. I mean, maybe this is going to turn into a love reading. I don't know, but they're like for sure do it like that. So it is what it is. All right. So where are we going next, guys? Okay. So I'm going to pull some cards in regards to your gifts. And we are going to just see what comes out, right? These? Yeah. Okay. So these are different. We'll see what message comes out versus the other deck. It's a new deck, so we're still bonding, right? So what I like to do is just kind of see, like, what are the gifts, right? So you may feel like you do have the ability to shapeshift. There's something with Venus. There's something with, like, your love style, like the way that you're transmuting, attracting, descending, ascending, coming into, like, your abilities. Like, you have this inner knowing, right? This inner knowing of self that, like, you are like a herbalist, like you are a healer. You have this internal guidance of just this inner knowing, right? You just know things. You don't know how you know it or why you know it, but you just know it. And over this next month, that's going to get even more innate, right? It's just going to be second nature. Like, people are going to ask you a question, you're just going to have the answer. And it's not that you're being a know-it-all, but like you are, do you really want me to say that? Okay, so they're putting in a sexual context, and you're just going to know where to go. I'll just leave it at that, right? Like, you're going to be 2 steps ahead of the situation, and it's going to be an amazing co-collaboration as oh, it's going to be out the house. So, like, if you're unioned up, like, and you're partnered up, it's going to be fabulous. If you're not, it's going to be so good, you're going to want to be partnered up, right? Yeah, pretty much. Somebody is hella funny. I don't know. Somebody's got a funny guide over there that, like, just keeps, like, joshing and, like, cracking wise jokes and is, like, really, like, haha funny. So maybe, and that's also a running theme in the collective, right? Is doing things with a light heart, laughing more, being at ease, being playful. And maybe that's going to actually add to this whole process, right? Yeah, and I'm also kind of getting that, like, your sensuality's been dormant, or it's kind of felt like it's been turned off as of lately, right? And that's because you've been kind of rebalancing your masculinity and your femininity, getting them to sink in together. Really, truly, and that's so weird, you guys, because this is like a different way of Christ consciousness. Communing with nature is what they just said. And that might, there's like this release. So, like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. First off, you have to make sure that you are fully vested and protected, that you are a sovereign being in a body, and you have to tell the elementals that they are not allowed to jump on you when you do this, right? Because they're sneaky little asses. I love them, but they're sneaky. and put your back up against a tree, right? And allow yourself to release that energy that because I keep feeling like it's like you're holding your breath for Gaia, and it's going to allow you to transform, because it's almost like upload, download, or download, upload, right? And it's going to allow you that time to transmute those energies that you didn't even realize you were holding your breath on, right? And it has something to do with the collaboration of 3, that full circle, key points, time turning, shifting. And so allow yourself that space to understand that you are divinely connected, not only to Gaia, to the creator, to your ancestors, but you're connected to, it's funny, the trees, the leaves, and the streams. I don't know if that belongs somewhere or if there's something connected to that, but that's what they just said. That's interesting. They just said the weeping willow. Like you can feel the weeping willow cry. Or the stream babble. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Weird. Okay, that's never come out before. So they're saying like you can speak to the trees, and you can speak to the rivers, and they'll actually talk back to you. And so silence in the meditation space, once one is balanced, there then becomes a unification of self, which opens up the pathway so that then you can truly start communing with Gaia, with nature. So take it for what resonates, I guess. I very interesting. Do you guys want me to use my ancestor decks? No. Okay. For another time, in another place, in another space, I guess. At some point we'll go into it, and I'll bring out my ancestor cards. There's something about your genealogy like that is mapped. Maybe you come from like a long line of people that are divinely connected to the earth. You could be indigenous, you know. Me and Gaia got a thing, and maybe you do too, right? Yeah, you're going to start being scary good with like your assessment of a situation or people. Like it's going to throw you off, like how quickly that muscle is developed. And it could have been as soon as like winter, or it could be coming up between now and winter, right? What's that? And hey, what's that? You may be like finding things that you're like, wait a minute, like a needle in a haystack kind of a thing, right? It's actually going to be a really fun journey that's going to catapult you into a totally different facet of your life, right? It's not like you're going to be shifting. Oh, yeah, summertime. Okay, so show me summertime. Is there like a journey that's going on? Like what are we doing? Show me. I know it's in here. Show me. What else? Hot damn. All right. Ooh, if you're going to a castle, I want to come. All right. It's up to you. Like, it's legit up to you what path you take. So my insights, and you got 2 things with cars here, 3 things with cars, and there's not that many cars in this deck. I think you literally got all of them. So like the thing is like it's a coin toss, right? Like you can Sorry, they're like giving me like 5 different case scenarios, and I'm trying to like separate the timelines because I don't want to give you something that's a lower timeline. I want to pick your highest timeline possible, right? You're definitely going on some kind of a journey or a road trip that's eventually going to bring you to a child. So be careful, be safe, be protected, but be excited and be open, right? Allow yourself to enjoy the hard work that's been coming through you. That's weird. It's almost like you all of a sudden discover like you're from a royal lineage, but you're not like, it's not like, oh yeah, you're a prince, right? Or you're a princess. It's like your bloodline. Well, obviously you're 33. Like you are a prince or a princess, right? You're part of the royalty that is on this planet. Like you come from a very creative, ancestral line, right? Even indigenous, like an amazing, like, because you're telling me it's like, it's almost like your gifts unlocking the way that they've been unlocking. And like you've got travel like all over the place right now. So it's like, am I allowed to say that? We're working on my filtration system, guys, because there's some things that like should not be said. Here's the thing. When you travel, I want you to touch all these old monuments. And I just kind of want you to say whatever needs to come to me, right? And whatever needs to be left behind. And allow that to be in your journey. Because what that's going to do is it's going to pull you more into the gifts after. If this happens to be for you, you're welcome to email me. We can dig a little deeper, but this is something that I would address on a one-to-one basis, right? It's funny because they just said like a 57 Chevy. I don't know. I don't even know what that would be. Look into it. Maybe you need to get it for a road trip. Maybe you have one already somewhere. Can you ground your energy? I just kind of want to... You have a couple of like, you have pressure on your shoulders and pressure in your heart. Like right above on that left pectoral muscle. Yeah, so you got to come up. They'll take you to the proper way station. Take a couple of deep breaths, allowing your energy to shift, transmute, clear. And whatever are on both of the shoulders, you can go ahead and write those as cleared. And because we're here in this place, in this space, that has been acknowledged. Thank you. You got to work on your breath work because you need to decalcify your pineal gland more before you go on this trip. So you have like 3 to 6 months of breath work experience that you've got to work on to allow you to recalibrate your third eye. And make sure to turn your third eye down because right now it's facing the ceiling. And you want to pull it down so it's looking in front of you, right? Something needs to be balanced or mended is what they just said. Having to do with like, okay, so in short, this journey is going to be all about you coming back into home with self, right? Like being out in nature, like silencing the outside noise, right? And Silencing the outside noise so that you can start disconnecting from the childhood wounds, the emotional wounds that have been activated throughout life's triggers. And once you allow it to fully disconnect to where those things are no longer triggers, they're just things that happened in life, there's no emotional charge behind it. When you look at it and you say they were doing the best they could do at that time, because you have to remember too, like, right, our parents were just as sensitive as we were energetically, and probably more so because they were like on drugs, because they did like acid and stuff in the 60s. 70s I think was like cocaine and heroin, so like make it aware. And even if they didn't, like, they were consumed by alcohol, like ever since the 20s, like people have been libation the entire time, right? Constantly masking sensitivity. Why? Because that's something that, you know, they don't want us to wake up to. Because when you're tapped in and you can actually read an aura, when you can tap in and you can actually see colors of people, when you can utilize the foresight that was given to you, when you can tap in and say, oh, this is this and this is this, and you need a little bit of this, and that's going to fix your situation, right? You're going to end up changing your lymphatic system. You're going to end up losing weight. You're going to end up getting rid of those migraines by just taking this one herb, right? When you tap into those old knowledge, the old way of being, like, it then shifts your consciousness. Obviously, there's a reason why that was postponed. So when you come to a state where you understand that they were doing just the best that they could possibly do, right? Because they didn't know any better, right? They didn't know what we knew. Although they had the opportunity, but they were too fixated in the world. And I hope that makes sense, right? One of those. Really? Okay. Or this one. Portal. Okay, they want a portal for you. It's a doorway, gateway. It's like I'm following impulse. I'm not... I put a bunch of cards on my desk. They say to do it, and that's what we get. So through this process, maybe there's a gateway or a portal that you're looking for, or there is a portal you will open, right? And so be open, be aware, and be curious. Follow impulse in this journey of yours, right? Because, yeah, it's like follow impulse. Follow your heart. It's all about you getting back into your heart center, right? It says, trust the message, receive it from the heart, right? It's almost like your higher self is like activating your Merkaba to activate your outer auric field, your Ka body, putting you into a state of love. Whoo, buddy. How many more did you want from this deck? Yeah, you're giving birth to... Oh, hot damn. Are you serious? So you're going to have to take this, like, I don't know who's watching this, but I just heard you're giving birth to the rise of a new Christ consciousness. So, welcome to the new earth, Taurus. Like, I don't know what you're going to be unfolding on this journey. But it's literally like the cycle of you coming into your own bliss and your own joy. And like... it's allowing that duality to play out. Like, I mean, like, look at it. All these cards are like duality of night and dark, of balance, of truly coming into your own being and allowing your they just said it's a balance of your inner child and yourself as you stand right now. And so, like, everything that you wish somebody would have done for your inner child, like, do that for you on this journey. Like, feed your inner child and see how you grow through this transformation, right? And get in tune with if it feels good, then continue. And if it doesn't, like, don't. And get into that state of joy constantly, right? Because, like, you have this ability to transmutate, like, energy when you're in a state of joy. And, like, you can take somebody who's having a crappy day, and they're showing me, like, literally picking them up off the ground. I'm not taking those because they were in the top. Like, if you want them to come out, they have to come out in the middle. And you guys know that. Somebody's being a smartass, but that's okay. They said these are the ones you need. So Shekinah is it's that sacred self, right? Where you, again, with the Christ consciousness, it's and by the way, Christ consciousness, I hope you already know this, and you should know this. It's not about, like, the Bible. It's about the vibration of being in love, right? It's that Jesus said, forgive them for they not know what they do, right? Like, he didn't take a vengeful state of being, right? He forgave people because they didn't have the insight, the ingenuity to know what it was that they were doing, right? They had the ability to live in their heart center, but they chose not to. Instead, they chose to ostracize, right? And so it's nothing to do about religion. It has to do with a way of living, right? And all religions activate or acknowledge the sacred self within our own self, right? All about your healthy choices. Like, what is it that you are doing to be balanced, right? Allow that energy to come through your crown and open it up and pull in that Christ consciousness, that high vibration. Allow the sun to give you those downloads that you need, right? If you're not in the sun for at least an hour to 2 hours a day, like, you gotta get in it. You gotta get it. And then it's really going to be opening up this pathway to allow you to walk into Dharma, right? And when you walk into Dharma, you literally allow instant manifestations to come to be, right? You, because then okay, so here's the thing. In order to get into Dharma, whoever's poking me on the tush, like, you need to stop. Whoever has energy on the left side of your buttocks, I see you. I know you're also in the third eye, and you can come up through the crown. They'll go ahead and transport you. So in order to get into Dharma, you have to release all the entity attachments that are in your auric field through all lifetimes, through this current lifetime, right? You have to update your Akashic records to reflect that you have completed the lessons you've agreed upon. Then your elder council has to give you the clearance so that you can, sorry, I'm covering my mouth and I don't know why I'm doing that. That's weird. Somebody really does not want me to tell you this. And I frankly don't care, because if I can get you to elevate, like, then you can go get other people to elevate, and it ends up being this chain reaction, right? So, where were we? It's the whole, is your heart as light as a feather, right? Then when you get to that stage, You then walk that one more step closer into paradise. And when you actually arrive at paradise, which some would state it was Eden, right? Once you get to the state of Eden where you're no longer dealing with your DNA conditional patterns, when you're no longer living in these old things, you then walk into Dharma. And when you walk into Dharma, your karma dissipates and you literally step forward into a new way of being, and you can manifest instantaneously, right? There are no, they just said your hands are untied. You then become a Buddha master, right? You then step into masterhood. Is there anything else that you guys would like to offer? Yeah? Sorry, I don't even know how long I'm recording. I just like talk. I just channel and it just comes out and we just have a good time and it's like, here you go. And I hope you got something out of it. If you like this video, if it resonates with you, if you feel lighter and brighter at the end of this, then please give it a thumbs up because it helps circulate. And I honestly would love to do clearings on a live stage of here and transmute some energy, right? And the only way that's going to happen is if more people actually see the message and it gets to them, right? So, am I clear on what my soul really wants? Right? We have this unwaveringness where we tend to go backwards and back and forth. So take out the shoulds, stop shitting all over yourself, right? And the limitations, get out of your head and pay attention to your heart. Desire instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go with all your heart. Today's soul action. I ask yourself what it is that your soul really wants. What does your heart crave? Then take one step in that direction. It literally is as simple as a small step forward. And keep at it, man, because you're doing an amazing job. Like, your guides and your ancestors are very, very happy with you. And isn't this the year of the tiger? I think it is. It's like the water tiger, I think. There's something about this year that it's literally going to break through the surface. Like, everything in your life is going to change this year. And I know a lot of people say it, but like, I see it. Work with the momentum, work with the energy, like, understand what the moon cycles are, understand where they play a part in your chart, propel that shit forward. Because I tell you what, if you keep forward, you're going to be manifesting instantaneously a lot quicker than you think. Honestly, you could nail this stuff down, because I'm seeing like that you've already done a lot of this stuff. Maybe this was just confirmation for you, right? Maybe you were just looking for like something to say, hey, am I really truly on the right path? And maybe that's what this is for you. So I'm going to leave that there, guys. I hope this finds you well, and I hope you enjoyed it, man. And like I said, I do hope you feel a lot lighter. And hey, if this is your journey and you go on a dope summer excursion, like, let me know, because like, I'm excited about it. Ciao. Be blessed, huh?